Summary of Henry IV Part 2 by William Shakespeare. A rumor starts the play by saying that King Henry IV's side won the Battle of Shrewsbury and that Prince Hal killed the rebel, Hotspur. However, reports spread that the rebels had won, which was not true. In fact, the play starts with Lord Bardolph telling Northumberland at Warkworth Castle about this story. As soon as Morton comes and clarifies the situation for Northumberland, he makes a revenge oath against the king. In London, the Chief Justice tells Falstaff that if he hadn't joined the army at Shrewsbury, he would be in jail for missing several court summonses. At the same time, Lord Bardolph, Mowbray, Hastings, and the Archbishop of York plan their revolt in York. Back in London, Mistress Quickly is getting ready to sue Falstaff for putting her out of business, but as usual, Falstaff is able to win her back and give her more money. In another part of London, Prince Hal jokes around with Poins and, when he hears that Falstaff will have dinner with Doll Tearsheet that night, makes plans to watch him. Later, the two sneak into Falstaff's loud, drunken pub dinner with Doll Tearsheet and Mistress Quickly. There, Falstaff is slandering Doll Tearsheet and Mistress Quickly. When word comes that Falstaff, who is a captain, is being looked for by the army and that war is coming, the party breaks up. In the meantime, Lady Northumberland and Lady Percy have persuaded Northumberland to leave the rebels and flee to Scotland. That night, King Henry IV paces around Westminster Castle, unable to sleep. He talks about his duties as king, thinks about how hard his rule has been, and predicts a dark future for his war-torn country. Falstaff goes to Justice Shallow's farm in Gloucestershire to draft men for the army. There, he meets the sad recruits Mouldy, Shadow, Wart, Feeble, and Bullcalf. Falstaff takes bribes from the best of them and only drafts the worst. In Galtree Forest, the rebels are getting ready to fight when Westmoreland comes up to them and says that he can't believe that a religious man like the Archbishop would use violence. He tells people that Prince John of Lancaster wants peace. The Archbishop says that he, too, wants peace, and he explains their long list of complaints against Henry IV. All of these complaints stem from the wrong way that Henry IV took the throne from King Richard. Westmoreland tells Lancaster about the problems, and Lancaster offers to fix them all if both sides get rid of their armies. The rebel leaders are happy to let their troops go, so Westmoreland and Lancaster's decision to arrest them comes as a surprise to them. Lancaster's side goes out to catch the rebels who are breaking up and tell the king that they have won. On the way, he runs into Falstaff, who is taking his time and bragging about how brave he is. When King Henry IV hears that the rebels have been defeated, it makes him feel even worse than he did before. Prince Hal sits by his bed while he sleeps. Thinking that his father has died, he takes the crown and goes. When the king wakes up, he is angry and calls his son a greedy killer. The prince saves himself by saying he loves his father and that he doesn't want power. The king gives his last piece of advice: start foreign wars to keep people from planning rebellions. He then dies. Falstaff finds out that the king has died while he is having dinner at Justice Shallow's. He rushes back to London and tells his friends that they can choose any job in his friend King Henry V's royal court. But the princes of Lancaster, Clarence, and Gloucester, as well as the Chief Justice, are less excited about the new king. They are afraid that King Henry V will abuse his power and rule England in the same careless way he always has. Then, when King Henry V says he has stopped being wild, they are shocked and pleased. King Henry V praises the Chief Justice for being strict with him in the past and tells him to keep being honest and fair. Doll Tearsheet and Mistress Quickly are also charged with murder in another part of London. Soon after that, Falstaff and his friends join the people to watch the parade of the new king. Falstaff calls out sweet things to King Henry V as he comes closer. King Henry V says he doesn't know Falstaff and calls him a bad dream. He says he's no longer the boy he used to be and has Falstaff and all his friends jailed and sent away. At the end of the play, Lancaster praises what his brother has done. The king has made sure that his old friends will be taken care of, even if they are sent away until they can change. In an epilogue, it is said that Falstaff's story will continue in the next play.
About the author. In 1564, William Shakespeare was born. His father was a glovemaker and assemblyman in Stratford-upon-Avon, and his mother was the daughter of a wealthy farmer. At age 18, Shakespeare married Anne Hathaway, who was 8 years older than him. Between the mid-1580s and 1613, he wrote many plays, including Romeo and Juliet, A Midsummer Night's Dream, Hamlet, The Henriade, Julius Caesar, Othello, and many others. In 1609, he put out a book of sonnets. In the mid-1590s, when London's stages were closed because of the plague, he put out other long works. Shakespeare was said to have died of a fever in 1616, just a month after writing a will in which he said he was healthy. His writings that are still around include almost 40 plays and more than 150 sonnets. His work is still performed, studied, and revised today.
Hope we summarized it fully and you liked it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that we are motivated to create more videos.